Information Technology and Professional Skills, Lecture 4. I'd like to talk about the assignment, about Excel nested if, conditional formatting, CMYK RGB, Access dashboard building, and perhaps forms, and then give a summary. There's the assignment. The most important thing you need to do is to create a plan. In fact, it probably will be good to see your plan along with all of the other things, so when you hand in your assignment it will be good to be able to see what you did as a plan. So perhaps if you drew up a plan and then showed it to the tutor, that will be good. Now you need to create 3 adverts. From this week on, there will be no time given in lessons for this work. CYMK, cyan, yellow, magenta and black. CYMB would have been cyan, yellow, magenta and blue. But they also talk about black as being the key color. Now when you think of red, green, blue, if you mix those together, then you'd end up with a sludgy purple, I think. When you project light through them, what you end up is with white. Now, what I want you to do is to create a dashboard in Access. So the first thing you need to do is to open up Access, so here's Access. I'll start with a blank database, or would I be better off to start with that one? Let's try that one. Now, I've got a dashboard form there, but I think what I'll do is to just delete that. Now let's go to my table. I've got a dashboard table, then I'll delete that. Okay. So, new. Databases are made of tables. Tables are made of records. Records are made of fields. So in order to make a dashboard form, I first of all need to make a dashboard table. So I'm going into Design View and starting. Databases are made of tables, tables are made of fields. Here am I in a field, so I'm making a dashboard. I'll make that in text and then I'll save that. This is the dashboard table. I'll OK that. The first thing it says is there's no primary key. Primary keys show you which particular field is the first search of information or data in your database. I'm not going to use any data in the dashboard table, so I don't want that. If I go and view it, that's what it looks like, but I'm only using it as a background, so I don't really want to put any information in, so I'll close that. There's my dashboard table. Let's go on to forms. Usually when I create a form, I'd use a form wizard because it takes me through the steps very quickly. However, this time I just use Design View. I need to use a dashboard table, and it takes me to here. The first thing to do is to open it up to a reasonable size. To then take the rectangle. I'm trying to create a background so that it looks a reasonable color. Let me close that. If I take the paint pot and add some white, then I take it again. On the inside of that, I create some blue, and finally on the inside of that I go back to white. I'll put a label at the top here. Databases seem to work in a peculiar way when it comes to lettering. Instead of the usual way that one has grown used to of highlighting text and then going for the font and the font size, in Access, if I highlight it, the text disappears. If I merely click onto it, the text comes back and I can use it. Alright, there it is there. I'd actually like this box to be transparent and the lines to be transparent. So if I view it by pressing the View button, that's what this will look like. So my dashboard will look like that. Okay, back into Design. I'll go along to the button. Form operations. Now usually I go to Open Form and create a button that would open up any of my tables, which I'd turned into forms, so open up any of my forms. However, since I've not got any other forms in this database, then I won't do that. What I'll go for is Close Form. Next, I'll just use, well, I'll use this Close Form. I'll put Close Dashboard here. Go on to Next. This is a reminder of which button has been made. And there it is, there's my button there. Now if I click onto there, save what I'm doing, and this is dashboard form, save that, and if I go into the view look and do that, you'll see it's closed it. If I want to open it, I'll open it again. Now go back into design, and I'm going to put a second button on here. This button, which I'm trying to do the same size as this, will be quit the application. Leave access. Now there's my second button. I'll try and make it the same size as my first button. Now there is a way of going in and making sure that buttons are exact, but I won't do that at the moment. Let's save that. Now what have I done? There you are. I've created a dashboard. I will put other buttons in there on the future. One, I've created a close dashboard button, and here I've created a leave access button. So when I press this, I'll leave access, taking me back to here. Now here's another example of a dashboard. Run Word, go to a query, close dashboard, run Excel, preview report of sales. Okay, let's move down from this one. That's taking me back to the summary, but I'd like to look further. I'm hoping that something will take me. Well, let's see if I can move on to access. So if I, sorry, not access, Excel. So I click here and look at what I've recently seen. Now look at this. I'm going to look at two things here: nested if and then conditional formatting. Let me take this off and look for a nested if. Now, the first thing I need to do is to go up to functions. Here's function here. Insert a function. When I click onto there, usually if I go to all, I'll get this list. If I click onto the first one or the second one and then type the letter I, it'll take me down to if. Now, if logical test, value if true, value if false. Okay, I'm going to put my cursor there, and I'm going to say if that is greater than or equal to, I really need to see this, 70. And I should make that cell absolute, so I'll press the function button F4. Alright, if that is greater or equal to that, and you'll see it says there true, then the student will get a first class. Absolute. Now I've done the first of my conditions, but I want to see all of those conditions here. So I'll come to there, and while this is being remembered up there, I'll move to here and click again. Now we can see this is made blank. This has remembered what we've done so far, and now I can carry on. So if that is greater than or equal to 60, F4, then the student will get an upper second. F4. Go to here. Now, once more, all of this has been remembered up there, and I need to go up to here. Click that. Now start again, but remember, all of this is still up here. If that is greater than or equal to that absolute, then pass. Absolute. Remember, the absolute means that it only talks to this cell. If I drag it down at some point, that doesn't move. It always talks just to that one cell. Alright, next one. Now if he doesn't get a first, an upper second, or a pass, then what he gets is a fail. So what I want to press in there is that absolute, and now when I click it, the result is a first class. There are all the calculations. These are nested together, all three of them. Now if I click onto there and go to the corner there, put the drag cross down there and drag it down, then that's what I get. Now if I look at Wendy Income and remark her paper and find that she got 41, you'll see that it changes to pass. I'll undo that. Now what I want to look at now, I want to go up to there and write and conditional formatting. Okay, I want to put my cursor there. In order to do conditional formatting, I want to set up some conditions so that when they get over 70, this box will change one color. When they get over 60 and below 70, it'll change to another color. And when perhaps they fail, it'll come up with a danger signal. Let's see that. The first thing I do is to go up to Format and down to Conditional Formatting. Immediately this comes up. Cell value, there's the cell value, between 70 and 100. Now, if they get between 70 and 100, the format will be the font. Well, let's make that black. And the pattern, they're obviously a purple type. Now there's one condition set up. When that condition is met, that color will come onto here. Let's add another one. The value is between 60, ouch, tab across to the next one, and 69. Now let's format it. The font color, I'll make black. The pattern, bright green. So now I've got that. I'll add a third. I can only do 3 conditions here. So this time I'm going to say between 0 and 39. When I look at this, the font color is black. The pattern color is bright red. Danger. You have failed. So there are the three. Now if I click on that, there it is. There's the first result. Now I can't drag that down because that would drag that formula down there. But I can go up to the formatting brush and paint that format down there. Now you see, two people have got over 70. Well, we can see the number, but it's highlighted by the colour. Ambidextrous has passed, and so those stand out as just being white. But Wendy Encombe has failed. Now if I remark her paper and find that actually one page wasn't marked and she actually got 60, there you are. Not only does that change, the upper second changes and the colour changes. That is conditional formatting. Okay, now what have I looked at? I've looked at finally I'll get there, I think. I've looked at the assignment. I've looked at nested if. I've looked at conditional formatting. CMYK, access dashboard building. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my Camtasia and